play.
Andrew, do you have a headset you can use? for don't you have like a
Yeah, I do.
headphones or something that you can use for the phone?
Yeah. I'll use it. I'll use my
Oh my
bloody
gosh, that's so loud! It's like you threw your phone in a box of Legos.
My headphones. Wait, let me plug my headphones in. They won't be so loud. Alright, you hear that?
Yeah, I can
Is that
hear
like
you.
really loud? Is this all really loud?
So, the way the game works is everybody, there are going to be 4 players that start in the 4 corners of the map, and inside of your clan grounds, which are off the map, you're invulnerable. Nobody can cast any like spells or do any tricks or anything to you. You can't affect the game board, it can't affect you. Once you step out, every turn you get, I think it's 3, maybe it's 4 actions. And there are ways that you can curse other people to get fewer actions. There are ways that you can use cards to gain more actions on turns, but usually I think it's 3 actions, which you use to move and also interact with things. So like attacking somebody costs an action, and if you happen to be next to somebody at the beginning of a match, or at the beginning of your turn, you can attack them like 3 times in a row. There's not a limit. So you get your 3 moves. Moving into mountains costs 2 moves, but moving down from a mountain costs 1. So there's a limited number of turns. I want to say there's like 7 days and nights, so 14 turns, and then the game will end. And the way it works is the whole story is the king has been infected with this rot, and he's going crazy. And so every night he gains an extra rot, and these creatures come out and terrorize the lands, and you can fight them and save towns and everything like that, and eventually at the end of the 7, I guess at the morning of the 8th day, I want to say it's 7 turns or 7 days. At the morning of the 8th day, the king will just die, and so there are 4 different ways that you can win the game. 2 of them are very similar. You can win by having the most prestige when the king dies. If the king just naturally dies at the end of the turns, the number of turns, then whoever has the most prestige wins the game. You gain prestige by rescuing towns, by fighting monsters, but not guards. If you fight guards, you lose prestige, but if you fight monsters, if you complete quests, you gain prestige. So prestige leader gets to will win the game, and also the prestige leader at the start of each day gets to basically pass a law. They get offered 2 things that the king is trying to pass. Both of them are going to be bad, but you get to choose which bad thing you want to enact, and it's usually like an ongoing board state or something like that may last the entire game. It may last for a single day and night cycle. It may affect people immediately, like if you have more than 6 gold, you lose all of your gold or something like that, because you clearly have like too much money and you must be taxed or something like that. So prestige leader gets a little bit of there's an incentive to have prestige, because you can affect the game a little bit more. So you can win by the king dying and having the most prestige. You can kill the king. As soon as you challenge the king, you lose all of your prestige because it's treason. But if you can beat the king in one-on-one combat, then you will win. Another way to win is by beating the king and having more rot than the king, and that's difficult. And then the other way you can win is there are these spirit zones that can spawn on the map or be part of quests, and if you collect 4 of them, you become like an envoy of goodness and light. And if you go to the castle, instead of fighting the king, you can just purify the king automatically and win. So those are different ways you can win. You can fight each other, and when you fight one another, I'm trying to remember if you fight each other. I know if you die, you lose prestige, but I don't know if you gain prestige from killing people, unless of course the king puts a bounty on you. And if you get a bounty on you, if another player kills you, they get prestige and money. So there's an incentive, once again, to work with people a little, a few times, and you can backstab people, you can set up alliances, you can do stuff together. It's pretty fun. You have 4 different stats. You have combat, you have fight, which is just how many dice you roll. All of the checks as well as combat is all like dice based, but you build a bigger and bigger pool is how everything works. So if you have more fight, you have more dice to roll, is basically what it is. And you get more fight also by equipping items and stuff like that. There's health, which is just your health. It's very straightforward. There's wits, which is the maximum hand size that you can have. So if you have low wits, you can't have as many cards in your hand. Wits is pretty nice. And then there's spirit, which is the amount of magic that you can cast, as well as the distance of magic that you can cast. Then at the beginning of your turn, whatever your maximum hand size is, you always draw up to it, and there are 3 shared decks. There are items, there are spells, which cast magic, and then there are trickery cards. And these trickery cards affect the board state. You can set traps on a certain tile, and so if somebody goes into that, they have to pass a check, otherwise something bad happens to them. You can cast trickery on, like, directly on another person, and it may affect them immediately, like they may lose a piece of armor or something like that. There's a lot of text. There's a lot of cards to read through, but you eventually get used to everything. There are NPCs that will roam the board. City guards, usually, unless you have a bounty or something like that, they'll probably leave you alone. I guess we are all outlaws trying to usurp the king, so actually they may hunt you down. But if you defeat a guard, you lose prestige because you're attacking the city guard. There are also these rot monsters that look like glowing purple vultures. If you defeat them, then you gain prestige. And then the way that rot works is, if you have rot and another person has rot in combat, whoever has the higher rot gets the other person's rot as extra dice. So if I have 4 rot and Nathan has 2, I have more rot, so I get 2, his rot, I get 2 extra dice in combat. If you have any rot on your person at the beginning of at the dawn of a day, you take, I think it's no matter what, you take 1 heart of damage. If you have, or no, I think you can have up to 2 rot and be fine, and when you get your 3rd rot, you become corrupted, and then you take damage at the beginning of the day. If you're corrupted and you go into a stone circle, you take damage, but otherwise I think it heals you. That may be it as far as base stuff. But then at the beginning of the game, you're going to select your character as well as a ring and a pendant that'll give you small passives. So I mean, it's one of those things. There's a lot of stuff going on, but we can get into it. So we're going to do a classic multiplayer.
All right.
Okay.
Oh,
so
cool.
You have 90 seconds to select a character. Oh, I guess I do have some of these things. You have 90 seconds to select a character as well as a token and...
Where are the tokens?
After you select your character, you can... Actually, you may not have tokens and rings yet, or you may have very basic ones. You get those as you play the game. You get more stuff unlocked. And then after you select your hero, hit Edit Loadout, and then you can select your amulet, your ring, things like that. And if you hover over it, you'll see at the bottom what your amulet does for you.
Wait, how do I... I'm confused.
What is your question?
I picked my character.
Okay, so now hit Edit Loadout.
Where? Oh, gotcha. I picked an amulet. What do they do?
You've got 5 seconds. Quickly select an amulet and another thing. Okay, here we go.
I have no clue.
I only chose my character. I don't know what the other thing I was supposed
Well, hopefully
to choose
they gave it to you. They gave you something random. I guess that is one thing, that you only had 90 seconds and you had 1,000 characters to pick from. I'll help you. I mean, just, we're learning it all together, so I haven't played it in a long time. So he's going to take damage. So he has 8 hearts, so that's why at the beginning of the 8th day. So you have a quest. Go ahead and pick your first quest, and you can hover over it to see what the rewards are. And when you complete a quest, usually there are you're going to get stat bonuses. So you see like rewards. It may have 1 cup, which will increase your wits, and then 1 crown. That's your prestige. And then if you hover over the thing that's underlined, it's usually some extra thing, like a cool card, or maybe it's a follower that stays with you, or it may be some other ability or something like that. And then when it says challenge reward, a lot of times there's a challenge where, based on your stats, it's basically like a 10% chance for every stat that you have. So if you have 5 wits, it's a 50% chance that you succeed, 50% that you fail, that you get some extra bonus thing. Okay, I'm gonna take this.
So what do I do? I picked a thing.
So where are you right now? Are you? Oh, you've got, okay, so you need to move. You've got a certain number of action points that you need to take. Those are your movements, those are your, the other thing is, so using cards I don't think is an action. And then you can end your turn. You can equip any items that you have, anything like that. But at the beginning of your turn, you're going to draw up to your wits.
Do I have items?
Did you draw cards?
No.
Oh.
Well, I don't know what to do.
I was saying at the beginning of your turn,
turn.
You're gonna draw cards. You have.
Dude, I have no idea what's going on.
How
did you even move?
You have 4 wits, so that means you can draw up to 4 cards in any combination. There are item cards in the top that are the gold cards. That can be equipment like swords and shields and things like that. There are green cards, which are your magic, which you have 5 spirit, so you have 5 magic points that recharges at the beginning of every day. And then you have treachery cards, and treachery cards and item cards both cost money in order to do things. So on the board, if you want to take a look around, there are forests, there are plains. If you see these little craggly places that have that look like ruins, if you hover over some of these hexes, there's one that's called a dungeon. If
Am I supposed to be doing something right now?
Yeah, you need to be moving. You need to be moving.
I don't know
He doesn't tell you any of that.
How do you move? I don't even know how to move.
You click on the hex.
You click on the hex.
Nate, you're the bunny rabbit?
Yeah.
Right, take this. Okay, what did I start with?
I think so.
How much money do I have right now? I have 9 coins. Oh, we are definitely... Wait, in battle, -1 die. That's pretty nice.
Matt, where are you, a little pig?
No, I'm a rabbit. I'm a rabbit with a big backpack.
He's the orange rabbit.
Let's see. I don't care
I
about
think we're waiting on Matt to move.
Alright, scout. Yeah, I'll do that.
So how does one draw?
At the beginning of your... Oh, you probably started with cards, and you'll draw at the beginning of your turn.
Do I equip them all, or should I save them?
You need to get stuff out of your hand as quickly as possible, so that you can draw more cards.
So, do I just, like, do I slide them onto myself?
Yeah, if you click any, like, a gold card and slide it... God, this game is so loud.
What did you do?
This is all... I'm not doing anything. This is all just naturally happening.
What did you do on your turn?
I moved and took a town. So I moved and took a town, which has my banners around it, which means I get +1 gold per dawn, and anybody else can waltz into this town and take it from me. So at the beginning of the next, at the beginning of every day, I'm gonna get extra gold. So you need to be taking these towns. They also give you prestige to take a town. I also equipped a couple of cards. I have armor and a lantern on, so it grants me scout. I haven't played in a long time. You are wanted. Ooh. So Andrew's character now has a bounty. If you kill him, you get 2 gold and 1 prestige. Oh, there he is. Oh, but he got to his quest. Awesome. So yeah, this is what you should be doing, is focusing on doing your quest. Where is my quest anyway? I have no clue. I think I went the wrong way for my quest. Not entirely. Did somebody just, like, spray a bunch of whipped cream in their hand? What was that? So cool. So Andrew did his quest. And you have no more moves, but... Now, another thing that you can do is, I'm pretty sure on your turn, you can still do stuff. So even if it's not your turn, Andrew, you can, like, equip cards and cast spells and things like that. That's one thing that's nice about this game. One reason that it can't be a board game is, one, there's the autonomous... Oh, I want to watch this fight. If you hover over where Nathan is, you can click the little crossed swords above him, and you can watch his fight. So you have a certain amount of time. So if you want to, you can burn cards to permanently make the dice rolls. Y'all really should have played the tutorials. There's so much to explain in this game. Every card has a symbol on it, and whatever. We'll just see how it goes. So far, you're dealing 1 damage, dealing 2 damage.
How can there be this many rules?
There's a lot of stuff. So, you deal 2 damage, but you attacked a city guard, so you gained a bounty. So, every single card in the upper right-hand corner has a symbol on it. During a combat or a trial, if you're trying to, like, pass a check, you can burn cards from your hand to make one of your dice roll that specific card. Roll that specific symbol. So swords and trees. Trees are wild, and will explode. They'll be a success and then re-roll the dice. But that's one way that you can do stuff, is you can burn cards to make sure that you succeed on certain checks and things like that. It's okay. You know, we're learning the game. I'm relearning the game.
So how do I draw cards?
At the beginning of your turn. Once you have to get cards out of your hand. You have a maximum hand size. So only way you can draw more cards is get rid of cards, and then at the beginning of your next turn, you can draw back up to your maximum hand size.
And is your maximum hand size dynamic?
Yes. It is it's your wits, which is in the lower left-hand corner, your cup. So I think yours is 4. Well, what do y'all want to do now?
Show me pictures.
I don't know. This is kind of confusing.
Yep. It's a lot of stuff.
I might want to play the tutorial before we try playing this
Yeah,
again.
the tutorial looks pretty necessary. So far, I've just like clicked random squares and played one random card. I couldn't even figure out how to play a card the second time.
Okay, yeah. I remembered it being kind of a thick game, but once you like played the tutorial and understood, like, it's a lot of little working parts, but they all, like, you know, make sense together, but you have to understand what's going on and, like, what is the point of, you know, A, B, C, D, E? Like, why do I need to do this?
Yeah.
This?
I see why they might make you play a tutorial before you start. Unfortunately, they didn't do that to us.
Well,
you made it sound like you had to play a 45-minute tutorial before you play.
It's 4...
Which would actually help with this game.
It's 4 short tutorials
Okay,
where you...
hold on, I got a quick question.
Go
when
for
I'm
it.
trying to play this card, it wants me to put it in my inventory or party. What's up with that?
What color is the card?
Yellow?
Okay, so that's an item. So, you know, when you click it, if you want to equip it, you click it on, you know, all your cards are on your left-hand side of the screen. Click it and drag it to your right-hand side. And there should be a box that opens up with 2 columns. The left-hand column is your item columns. You can have up to 3 items equipped. The right-hand column is your follower columns. You can have up to 3 party members following you, giving you passive buffs.
Is there...
Okay, I'm going to take this guy down.
Is there what, Andrew?
Is there a way to turn the timer off for the round?
Yeah, you can play with no timers at all.
I think that's what we need to start. Just, I mean, we can turn it back on. I get how you want to keep the game going fast, but, like, Nate and I need so
Yeah,
much
if you
time
don't
to
know what
read
the cards
stuff.
do.
Like we have to read every single little
No,
thing
I know.
to, like,
I know. Yeah.
to know, like, even the most basic card, we don't recognize that it's a basic card, and we're reading
Did
it
I
like
lose
this
that
is an
battle?
important card. I could have like the best card in the game. And it's like, no, you have a card that like gives you 1 gold, but like I can't tell the difference right now, and I'm trying to like,
yeah,
just like take my time, and the timer is really what's I think throwing me off.
So when you say Matt demolished you, are you dead?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm
is my dude, has he been taken over by an AI?
Your guy got taken over?
I'm asking y'all. I'm not in the game anymore.
Oh, you're not? Wait, when
No.
did you drop out of the game?
Like 10 minutes ago, my
Are you serious? You're not even playing?
no. Did you not hear me go quiet? My internet fucking
We heard
crashed.
you were quiet, but that didn't automatically mean that you went out of the game.
No, my internet
Yeah, this
crashed.
thing didn't tell me you're not in the game. It
I had
kept
to-
on
I had to-
having your character play as if you were here.
I had to reset my router and my modem.
Okay, well I'm gonna quit then because I'm the only human still in this game, and I'm doing terrible.
I'm reading Wikipedia about it right now. Well, what do you guys think is best? Like, and I'm open for anything. We could try to like learn it as we go tonight, or we can commit to trying to play in the tutorial.
I think it would be possible. It's a lot of stuff, but it would be possible for me to teach y'all if we got rid of the timers and stopped crinkling Twix wrappers in the microphone.
Oh, it's raw cookie dough. Sorry. That makes it better.
How refined.
Is Mr. Turtle not in the
No.
original?
He's part of the newest expansion, the Dragon Clan.
Dragon Clan. Oh, Nate, you should be in the Dragon Clan.
Yeah.
Ender's Game. Yeah, boy.
Yep.
Where the heck is my other slipper?
Guys, my computer is not liking this.
Really?
Do we even think is Mac support it?
It's
Yes.
definitely okay. I'm in. Yeah, it's Max recorded.
I've sent invites to everybody.
Yeah, give me one.
I mean, it's a
sec.
board game. It shouldn't be that hard to run.
Oh,
It ain't
Mac
no-
can figure it out.
Dude,
Alright.
I've got to clean my closet, but not right now. Just give me my dang slipper.
Who are you talking to?
Okay, Slim Shady.
My closet needs to give me my slipper back.
Are you just
Where are
like
you?
formally requesting that a space gives you your slipper?
Yeah. Hey, so I got a Christmas movie for y'all. If you haven't seen The Night Before, y'all should check it out. It's funny.
Is it a scary movie?
No, it's a comedy. It's an adult comedy. But it's... I mean, it's got, like, language and it's... Like,
The way you said that was just... It's a comedy. It's an adult comedy.
I didn't want Nathan to go watch it with his kids.
It sounds like a scary movie.
I found it. Hooray. Thank you. Ooh, my feet can be warm and cozy.
What is going on?
I was looking for my JCPenney slippers.
Uh,
I found them. So I'm back, and the game still hasn't
In the
started.
party with you, Matt?
I'm waiting.
I invited all three of you. Nathan is the only one that has accepted the invite right now. The other,
Oh, I
Wow,
forgot.
I'm not even sitting at my computer right now.
I forgot
And
I
I'm
had
the only
to.
one that did the right thing.
I wish I knew where to accept it.
I forgot I had to accept.
but you can see your starting stats if you select the thing, as well as the passive in the bottom right. Underneath your character. But then after you, so you know, there are all your stats, your fight, your damage that you do in combat. Oh hey, there isn't a timer right now. Awesome. So take your time. It doesn't look like there's a 90-second timer.
Sweet.
So then body is your health, wits is your maximum hand size, spirit is your casting ability, it's your magic points, as well as the distance you can actually cast spells, and then your starting gold. Everybody has different starting gold. And then also it gives you what your passive is. And then you can hit edit loadout, and you can select an amulet and a ring. And I'm going to select some different dice. I actually have some dice.
What are Banes?
Banes are... Did y'all play... Whoa! Did y'all play long enough
Start.
to see any of those, like, purple vultures spawn on the map?
Nope.
Okay. Well, Banes
No.
are basically rot creatures incarnate. And if you defeat them, you get prestige. They are basically just like evil spirits that will pop out. So if you have something that's like does damage against Banes or something like that. Corruption is if you have at least if something has 3 or more rot, and all Banes are corrupted. If something has 3 or more rot, then you can you know, that's considered corrupted. So like Fang, Berserker, starts with 1 rot. When attacking, if Fang slaughters his opponent, battle ends before they strike back. So Fang is like mega damage. He's like super aggressive. Thane, Swordmaster, sword cards burned in battle pierce opponent's defenses. So remember how I was talking how in battle there's that burn down where I was saying that you can drag cards to use in combat in order to basically take a die, and instead of rolling it, you set it on a certain face. Swords deal damage in combat. Obviously, swords rolled on the dice. So if this guy, Thane, burns a card that has a sword symbol in the upper right-hand corner, it pierces defenses, which means that damage will actually pass through a shield that's rolled. And somebody is right now looking... Who is this? Looking at Cannoneer. Looking at Hargrave. The rabbit with the peg leg and the cannon. Who's looking at him right now?
I'm him.
Hello?
I am him.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So he's a little bit more combat. But one thing that's interesting about him is if you end your turn in a plains or a mountain, anybody that enters an adjacent tile, he automatically hits them for 1 damage. Now, that being said, you need to be careful about that, because if a palace guard enters a tile next to you while you're in that defensive stance, you deal a damage to them, and you immediately lose a prestige because you've attacked a palace guard. So,
Right, so
Did you say there's a second thing to select?
yeah, there's an amulet and a ring.
Okay.
Your guy...
What is the difference? I see. I get it. Okay, I see.
what's
Your guy I know nothing about. Never seen this dude
Cool.
before. I've never played with
What,
Dragon Clan, so...
what is fight, body, wit, and spirit again? One more time.
Fight is the number of dice you roll in combat. Body is your health. Wit is your maximum hand size. And spirit is your magic points, like your mana points, as well as the distance that you can cast spells. And your spirit comes back at the beginning of every dawn. So every day has 2 cycles. There's a dawn and there's a dusk. There's a morning and an evening. So basically every other turn your magic comes back unless you use some sort of card or something like that to give you magic. There's an item called Moon Juice. I know that gives you +2 or +4 magic or something like that. It replenishes your magic. But yeah, fight. So if you were to physically fight somebody in hand-to-hand combat and you had no items or anything else like that, Andrew, you would roll 3 dice. And for every sword you roll, you deal damage. I want to say...
roll 3 dice.
Because you have a fight of 3.
My fight is 5.
Who are you? Wait, are
I'm
you the...
Silas.
You're Silas?
Yeah.
Where...
Nate is Volador. I'm the otter.
Oh, you haven't like selected him yet. Okay, so you're Silas. That's why. Okay, so yeah, so Silas has a fight of 5. So yeah, you do 5 or you roll 5 dice.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Whenever you roll a sword, that deals damage. If you roll a tree, that's a wild, which will be a success, and then it explodes. You re-roll that die. I think that's another thing is your spirit. Oh, that's another thing. Back in the day, dice would just like explode infinitely. Now you have a maximum number of re-rolls based on your spirit. I think your spirit also does that. So, it's called exploding. That's the terminology. So if you roll a wild, it's a success, and you re-roll it. That's called exploding. So your spirit is the number of explodes that you can get per big like group roll. And then I want to say that like every creature also has either a sun or a moon. Yeah. So like Andrew, if you look where your character's name, it says Silas. To the left of that is his symbol. He's in the bandit clan, and to the left of that, you see how he has a moon.
Yeah.
So when you roll moons, they count as successes. Some people are sun creatures, and if they roll suns, they count as successes. So in combat, if you roll a moon, a sword, or a tree, then you're going to have a success on combat.
Snowflake looks lit, Frost.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So it's kind of,
great.
is it kind of like going down to Rockefeller?
Yeah, that's probably a better example than
Okay,
Square.
here we go. Is everybody ready to go? This is our first crew?
Matt and Clayton are in the same clan.
Yes, but that doesn't mean anything. There may
Dude,
be
you gotta watch out for those two.
There may be something.
Mates.
I don't know if there's going to be anything that says like the Bunny Clan does whatever. Like I don't think there's anything like that. So I also have it set up so that you don't start with your a hand of cards. You draw your cards at the beginning of the first turn. So you get to basically make your first hand. So everybody pick a quest.
All right.
I do not want that. Ooh. Don't mind if I diddly do. Where am I starting? Oh. Okay, fine, sure. How do I scroll up and down? I want to... There it is, F. Okay. Hey,
Wait.
here we go.
I lost the ability to. Okay, never mind.
All right, I picked my quest,
This is so weird. This is buggy.
and Clayton goes first.
No, right now... Wait, yeah. Clayton's going first. So what was your question, Nathan?
I figured it out, but game seems a little bugged.
What happened? Or do you not... Is it like a special... You don't want to talk about it? Secret thing?
No, the text that you hover over, I couldn't get it to come back up.
Oh.
But I went off and on and off and on and off and on that spot until it came back. I just had trouble getting it back.
Gotcha. Okay,
I have no idea whether to select item, spell, or trickery, so I'm just going to pick one.
Well, you definitely want to start with a
told me a lot of information that I want to destroy you.
Enjoy that.
You
man.
definitely want some items to start with because you need to equip stuff. In order to equip, you take stuff from your hand on the left and you just click and drag it over to the right-hand side. Everybody on your right-hand side, there are 3 things. There's the hero shelf, the inventory shelf, and the journey. Hero journal, my bad. If you click the hero shelf, it shows you all of your stats, and you can click the banners in the upper right-hand corner to check out everybody else's stats. So I can see what rings you're using and everything. Like all of your stats and everything like that. Clan affinity is day. What is this? Oh, right. So Clayton opted not to move. Interesting. A bold strategy. To not
I did that my first time.
To not do anything.
But it was just because the timer ran out on me before I could do anything.
Okay. So Nate's turn.
Yeah. So like Nate, to your left, 2 squares, there's that settlement. You see the thatched cottages and everything like that?
I'm drawing cards right now. Last time I didn't get to choose which cards I wanted.
That's because we played with normal rules. Normal rules is you just get a hand given to you at the beginning of the game. I changed it so that you can draw your first hand.
Interesting.
So let me know when you've drawn all your cards and you're looking at the map, because I can explain some stuff to you. Because you've got a bunch of different tiles.
I'm looking at the map.
Okay, to your left, 2 tiles. There's the thing that looks like a bunch of houses, like thatched cottages, like a settlement.
Mm-hmm.
If you take that, every dawn, you get an extra gold. Also, by the first person that takes it, I think that you also get a prestige. I may be mistaken about that, but you get prestige. I don't know if that's going towards your what is it called? Your quest, but and then to your right there is a dungeon that you can explore, and there may be items in there. There could be certain things, but there's also a peril. You see that black card with the like skull on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a peril. If you go there, you have to pass a test. Otherwise, bad things happen to you.
I'm good at tests. How many spaces can I move per turn?
You have 3 actions per turn, so you can move 3 spaces. If you attack somebody, that costs an action. Moving into a mountain square costs 2 movements. Equipping cards and using cards and stuff like that doesn't cost anything.
Okay, so wait, moving costs an action, and what else costs an action?
Attacking.
But
equipping,
I thought moving was attacking.
Well, yeah, if you move into a hex that is occupied by somebody else, you are attacking. Yeah.
Okay, so moving is the only thing that costs a move.
Yeah. Using cards does not cost moves. Also, for everybody's controls, you can move the camera with WASD. If you hit space, it moves it to you, and if you hit F, it goes to the current player, if you want to follow things around.
Okay. Nice. Now, tell me what a dungeon does again.
If you go into
it, what cards do I want when I go into it?
So if you go in, well, normally, so this dungeon currently has a peril on top of it, which is the important thing. Normally, you go into a dungeon and you can gain gold. You basically you delve the dungeon, and you automatically something happens. You either get gold, you get extra magic added to it. Sometimes you'll get an item that you'll find in the ruins. Sometimes a creature will pop out, and I think that there's a what are the things called? A bane will pop out of this one because it has that smoke coming out of it. So if you go into this one right now, a bane is going to pop out, and I think.
So I don't need to equip myself to go in.
Well, you do have to equip yourself if you're about to get into combat or something else, or if you have something that, because this has a peril on it, perils are these tests that you have to roll certain dice in order to pass them and stuff like that. So if you have any items, like equipment that you want to equip right now, I would go ahead and do that before you step forward, because sometimes
I have no items.
Sometimes items are like they give you +1 die, like +2 dice in perils. So it doesn't help you in combat or anything like that, but it helps you in trials and things like that.
Why will it not allow me to? So I was able to equip my cloak, but I can't get my moon juice.
Moon juice, I don't know. Is it saying, is there, oh, you don't equip that, you use that. You're gonna put that on your person.
Sure.
You're gonna drag it like to the person on the map, like yourself. And I want to say that there's something like, I haven't drawn yet, so yeah, there you go. And you did see, and you can do that not on your turn, even. You can do that whenever. It's pretty neat. And now that's out of your hand, so that's one more card that you get to draw at the beginning of your next turn. And I think all it did was give you like 2 extra magic or something like that. So if I go to your thing, oh, use Glamour too. And anything that's happened, you can, at the bottom, there's a status feed. You can hover over anything that's underlined to see stuff. So he played, yeah, that's what it is. It's the lightning bolt in the bottom is instant. So he paid 1 gold to give himself +2 magic, and then he gave... Oh, then you played Glamour on yourself? You stole a card from yourself. Oh, well, whatever.
You talking about me?
No, he...
I thought that was gonna...
Steal 1 card from the target's hand.
Oh, how do I find y'all?
We're out in the world. WAS...
Can I play a card on you if you're not near me?
Is there no mini-map?
No, there's not. There's a map. There's the world.
What does play to forest mean?
So there are a bunch of different tiles. If you hover over any tile on the right-hand side, it'll tell you what it is. So if you hover over this wooded area that's like 2 spaces in front of where your guy is, it says Creaky Hollow. It's a forest.
Got it.
It provides
So
stealth at night.
I can only play it if it's on a forest.
Right, and then there's plains, basic terrain, have no effect. Singing Stone Circle, you gain 1 health, but if you have corrupted creatures, you take damage. That's another thing about mountains. It takes 2 action points to climb, but while you're on a mountainous terrain, you get +1 shield. It's easier to to defend because you have the high ground. That's the other thing.
Yeah, I'm with Frost. Where's the mini map? I can't find.
There is no mini map. You can zoom in and out. You can use your mouse wheel to zoom in and out if you want.
Yeah, but you can only zoom out so far. Like I can't. There's no way I can find y'all.
What are you talking about? I can. There's
start
only
in the 4 corners.
Yeah, yeah. And right now you can't affect me.
Where do you guys see a map?
The world. There is no map.
The map.
There is no map. There's a game
He's
board.
just talking about the world.
Is it as zoomed in for y'all as it is for me?
You can,
It's very zoomed in.
How the fuck
It's
am I
zoomed
supposed
in.
to know that, Clayton? I'm not looking at your screen from 3 hours away.
But you can zoom out.
You should have
It
a
is
pretty
zoomed
good.
in. I can answer that question.
Thank
All right,
you,
I'm going
Nathan.
into this.
You have a pretty good idea.
Okay,
Can you
if you
see all 4 players on your screen at one time?
no, unless
No.
everybody's next to
Okay.
each other. Now, if you want to watch Nathan take this peril, you can click this little icon above him right now and watch him. He is currently oh, this is great, banished. So if you fail this, it just teleports you away. So, you see Spirit versus Peril. You need to roll a sun, a sword, and a shield. Otherwise, this bad thing happens to you. Now,
What does it burn cards mean?
you can take cards from your hand, and you have 6. You see how you have 6 dice under your character because you have 6 spirit or whatever.
So I need a sun, a sword, and a shield, and
Yes.
I can, if I see that on my cards, I can use it.
If you can burn that card to
Should
take.
I do that?
Well, that's up to you. If you don't want to get teleported away, so if
What's
everybody
wrong with getting teleported
What is
away?
teleported away? Like away?
teleport to the furthest dungeon. So if I return to the board, the furthest dungeon from you right now is like over by where Andrew is. It's like on the other side of the
Okay.
world. So unless you, if you're what is it called?
So I'm gonna roll 6 dice.
You're gonna roll 6, and you need a.
All right. What are my chances here?
Well, there's
Is every side of the dice different?
Okay, yes. So here's what there are. There's sun, moon, sword, shield, rot, and there's wild, which is the tree. So sun and moon are just opposites. They don't do much, normally. Swords deal damage in combat, shields protect in combat. Rots do nothing unless you become corrupted, and then rots deal damage as well. And then the wild, the tree, is an automatic success, and you re-roll. You explode up to your spirit. You see on the bottom right hand, or my bad, bottom left hand corner of the screen, you see how you have your stats.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, to the right of your spirit that says 6, there are 6 hexagons. You see that?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That is your explode pool. So you can only if you roll a wild, it's a success, and then you re-roll that die. That can only happen up to your spirit number of times per big roll. So you have a spirit of 6, which is big. So you have a big explode pool. So you have a possibility of like re-rolling a bunch of stuff if you happen to roll a bunch of wilds.
Okay, so one of these sides is a wild, is what you're telling me.
Yes.
That lets me re-roll it.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Okay.
if you want
Spirit's
to,
cool.
if there's some cards in your hand right now that you're like, this doesn't sound that cool, and it's gonna give you a sun, a shield, or a sword, you can click and drag it into that burning thing in the middle of the screen. It will get rid of that card, which means that's one more card that you draw next turn.
I got a card I don't want that
Yeah.
is a sun. So let's just throw this in here.
So that got rid of the card, and it also used one of your dice from your pool, but it automatically made it a sun. So now you only have 5 dice left to roll, but now you only need a sword and a shield.
What? Did I have to pay to use that, by the way, or was that free?
No. You didn't actually use the card, yeah.
What do I get if I win this?
You don't get teleported away.
What? That's it?
Yeah, it's a trap. You avoid the trap if you succeed.
Well, then why did I go in here?
I don't know,
get anything
Nathan.
out of this?
Why did you go in there?
Because I
know.
thought you get something from it if you.
I told you
complete the
this one had
challenge.
I told you this one had a peril on it. This is an extra thing. If you see
Does that mean you get something good?
Okay, dungeons, which are a tile, you scavenge them and you can find something good there, you can find something bad. But it had a black flag on that tile, that's the peril.
So
That's
I
what
get
you're dealing
to
with. Right now.
scavenge it after I beat it.
If you succeed in this peril, then you get to scavenge. Otherwise, you teleport to another
Okay.
dungeon and
Well,
you
that's the good
scavenge
thing
that
I
one.
get,
Yeah,
right?
you're gonna scavenge a dungeon no matter what
Yeah,
because you're gonna get
that's the good thing
teleported to a
that you
dungeon.
So let's see if I want this shield. If I can get rid of one of these shield cards.
Once again, it's a lot of mechanics, but after we play through like 2 or 3 rounds, I think y'all will have it down. And then it'll just be learning the new
I'm gonna
cards.
go with this. I'm gonna burn this one. Now I only have to roll a sword. If I lose this, I'm gonna be so upset.
So you need to roll a sword.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go. Clonk, clonk, clonk.
Give me a sword. Come on,
Nothing.
dude.
So we're about to watch Nathan go bye-bye.
What?
That's
I
pretty
just
far away.
burned 2 cards for nothing.
But then you got 4 gold from going to that dungeon. And you still have one
Wait,
action.
I got 4 gold out of that.
So the
Not
card,
lost.
the card.
You have
well,
one more move too.
I'll explain it.
And where
The-
am I?
I'll explain
No,
it.
I don't know where I am.
Hit,
Okay, I
hit,
found it.
hit space. Hit space to go to
Okay,
you.
got it.
The card, so the peril that was on that tile, if you failed the peril, it teleported you to the furthest dungeon away. Now, it still puts you on a dungeon, so you still delve the dungeon. So you got teleported across the map into a dungeon, which you then interacted with, and then you got 4 gold out of that new dungeon that you went to. That's what happened. And you still have
you still have a move
You
left.
still have 1 move left. And you don't have to move. If you like where you are, you can end your turn early, but you have 1 more move you
Now-
can take.
If I did end where I am, then will I go back into the dungeon next turn?
No, it's only when you move into a tile that you interact with it.
So it makes sense to go into this tile, to me, to go into this tile between the dungeon and the village. Then I have the option to do either one next turn, right?
Correct? So long as, remember this, the
Do that.
biggest thing is you need to be moving towards your quest more often than not. There's sometimes some games I've had some games before where it's like, man, I got like 1 quest completed and I wound up doing really well in the game. Oh, I don't want this. Oh, okay. I don't have much
Yeah, I'm
magic.
starting to get this a little bit.
Okay,
I feel much better right now than
what
I
is
did
this?
the first time we played.
I'm excited for the second time we play then.
He's still lost.
Yeah.
Okay, where am I going? I'm going there. Okay. Ah, that's so far away, I'm not going to be able to do anything. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Moon juice, and then I'll save that. What is this? Interesting. Okay, I'm going to move forward. Can I do stuff from there? Yeah, I can. Okay, I'm going to go in and do apparel. So if y'all want to watch me, you can hit F, which will teleport to me, and you can click the thing over my head to look at it.
Got it.
If you want to watch.
I'm locked in.
Okay, so I need 2 suns and a shield. Oh, man. I'm just going to roll. I'm just going to go for it. Steal 2 gold. If targets is scouted, steal 1 equipped item.
Dude, if you win this, I'm gonna be so mad.
Nothing. Okay, so what happens to me? I steal... Oh, they stole 2 gold. Okay, but then I took the settlement. So I lost 2 gold from that trap. But then I took the settlement. And then I'm going to move 1 more. And I'm going to end my turn. I clicked it. Okay. So now it's Andrew's turn. You have...
So what should I draw again?
You have 3 wits, so you can draw 3 cards. You start with... I don't know how much... You have 3 gold, so I would suggest you draw 1, maybe 2 equipment cards. And then, you know, whatever else you want... You have 3 spirit. So treachery cards usually cost money to spend. Treachery cards, if you want to think about it, you hire mercenaries to like lay traps or like beat people up. So gold is usually used for item and treachery cards, and magic is used for magic cards. So you equipped something right there. What did you just equip? Ranger's Cloak. Grants evade. What is evade? While attacked, reroll wits, not fight, and all attack counts as defense. Oh, interesting. Cool. So if someone attacks you, you don't roll your fight dice, you roll wits, but then all attacks count as defense. So and then you always run away. And stealth in forests in day and night. Wow, that's pretty cool. So he's very hard to hunt down if he's in a forest. Because forest provides stealth already in night, but now you get it day and night, and you get evade in a forest. That's pretty cool.
Alright, so how do I equip stuff?
Well, you equipped that. You clicked and dragged it. So
What?
Your oh no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong person. That's what Nathan has. You have if you have a gold card, an item, click it on the left-hand side and drag it over to the right-hand side. There are 2 columns, inventory and party. You can have 3 inventory, and you can have 3 party members. So you click and drag it over, you spend...
What do I want it in if I want to use it?
Does it have a light... Look in the bottom right-hand... Or what is it? No.
Like, I have armor. Where do I want to put armor in?
You want to... I mean, the slots don't matter. Like, the position doesn't matter. There, you just have 3 slots.
It won't let me put it in.
It costs money to equip items. So, yeah, you equipped an item.
Oh. Where's my gold over here?
So
gotcha.
Your gold, magic, prestige, and rot are on the bottom right-hand corner. So he just equipped an iron pike. So in battle, when attacking, the first sword he rolls gains pierce, which will ignore one of your shields.
Now, where's my little objective that I picked at the very beginning?
Let me see if there's a way that you can find that. Focus, turn taker, previous entity, Palace Bane. Oh,
is it under your hero journal?
If you hit Q, you'll focus your quest.
Okay, it's over by where you are.
Oh, So now you've taken that town, which at the start of the next day will get you a gold. What's up, Big Al? How are things? Now it comes down to this. If you want to attack Nathan, you can. You won't get anything from it other than just, like, killing him. Like, he doesn't have a bounty on him right now. Fighting between players. Armello is going well. This is, here, let me do this. This is my, first time playing in a long time.
Nate.
And I'm playing with...
Do you wanna call a truce for now?
I'm playing with my brother and 2 cousins who have never played it before. Armello was on sale. I was like, hey, we all like playing board games and video games and stuff like that together. Should we get it? So they're like learning it on the fly right now. But it's fun. I haven't played this in a long time.
Where'd Nate go?
Nathan, come in. Are you there?
Who's not there?
It should be full of people, but it sounds like one of them dropped out of the call. He's not in the call anymore.
I should end my turn.
Okay.
Hopefully the computer didn't take over and just have his guy attack me.
No, well he's not in Discord anymore, but I don't know what happened to him. So some perils got put down, and a Bane spawned. Yeah, it's been. I forgot how involved this game was. None of them... I told them, I was like, oh, you should probably play the tutorial before we get into it. And...
Dude, do they have a master class for this game?
Right? It's a lot of stuff. I forgot, like, how involved this game was.
I need Neil deGrasse Tyson to take me through a lecture series on...
They should have a 4-year degree, yeah. I have a Bachelor of Science in Armello studies. Yeah, be sure to actually take some moves this time, Clayton, towards your objective, your quest. Also, I don't think I own. Maybe I'm mistaken. I was looking through my Steam library, and I own the base game, but I don't think that I own all of the
Oh, he's got to fight Banish just like I did.
all of the expansions, but we were able to select from all of the heroes. So I don't know if there's like a special going on or what, but we have access to all of the heroes.
Equip stuff now, or is it too late?
What'd you say?
Can I equip stuff now, or is it too late?
It's too late. It's too late to equip stuff.
But being equipped doesn't help you here, does it?
Unless you have something that gives you extra dice on perils.
Okay, maybe it can't.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I own any of the DLC. But we had access to all of the heroes.
So the only way he can win this is if he burns a card.
No, if he burns a card, he cannot
can't win this.
He cannot succeed in this peril.
Don't burn a card then, dude. You can't win.
Unless it's a card that you don't like.
I don't
it's on all of Armello stuff is on sale for the next couple of days through Humble Bundle. So if you have, I think it's normally like what, $12 or $10. I think it's on sale right now for $6 or $7. Yeah. So look into Humble Bundle if you want to buy that.
Can't win it
if you have it on Steam. I don't know if it's
you can use the
for everything, but that's where I found out about.
I don't want to burn anything.
That it was on sale, but they go on sale a lot. They go on sale pretty often.
Drag the dice up to.
Yeah, you just.
Yeah, I think my click's off. I have to. There we go.
Okay. Teleporting, fat guy. Oh, we're all together.
We're all here.
Together.
We're all here. Over there.
Oh, and he summoned a Bane.
Losing?
He summoned a Bane.
Dude, the bird came with you, man.
So that's one of the things that can happen in a dungeon.
Is that my punishment for losing?
You teleported. You got teleported away.
Man, I was so much closer to my quest.
Clayton and the bird are fighting.
Okay,
toast.
So the
did
bird
Clayton start that fight, or did the bird start?
Okay, so the bird probably started the fight because he summoned the Bane by going into the dungeon and like, oh well, okay, here we go. I was about to explain some stuff about the combat, but here we go. We'll just watch it happen.
Here we go. Let's do it.
Oh, he's so far blocking.
I'm toast.
No. Look at him.
Doesn't look good. 4 versus 2.
So, congrats.
Let's go.
So you hit him for 1 damage, which means he's gonna back away from you. So, if you kill a Bane, you get prestige. I'm gonna let you know that right now. Oh, Clayton is currently in.
Did he just kill it, or that's
no,
not killed yet?
He did. He dealt 1 damage to it. It has 3 health left. And Clayton now is in a plains, which is interesting because he's gonna. I think he's gonna post up with his cannon. I think it's so.
Hey Nate. So by the way,
Man, I'm trying.
Last turn, and so I was saying we should do a truce to where we don't attack each other. Right
Uh-oh. Did Nathan just got stinky? He got poisoned.
Wait, what just happened to me?
He just got poisoned.
Did Frost do that to me?
Nah, dude. I think it was freaking.
It says it at the bottom.
It says at the bottom of the screen, Hargrave played poison gift to Vol.
Oh my gosh, that
What did he do to?
what
happened?
alert is so loud in my
Gave
head.
you a
Thank you so much for the follow,
poison
though. That alert was so loud in my head.
What did you say before that, Drew?
I said I didn't attack you last turn, and so we should call a
Look at
truce
these-
at the beginning
look
of
at
this
this.
game, just to start
Look at these.
and not attack each other.
Get out of here.
I'll consider that.
I could see
What
where
is-
the timer would be beneficial.
What is rot again? What's this deal with rot?
So rot does nothing. Well, hold on. Let me back up, because it does actually. Okay, so, rot is if you have rot and you fight something that has rot, whoever has the larger amount of rot gets bonus dice based on how much rot the other person has. Now, if you have 1 or 2 rot, it doesn't really affect you that much. Once you get 3 or more rot, you are now corrupted. And if you are corrupted, then you can no longer go inside of stone circles. Well, I take it back. You totally can, but it's going to fuck you up. Stone circles, if you are not corrupted, heal you by 1 heart. If you're corrupted, you take 1 damage per rot you have. So a minimum of 3. The other thing that being corrupted does is at every dawn, you're going to take 1 damage. That's why the king is taking damage over time, because he is corrupted. That's the whole story behind everything.
Corrupted is 3 rods.
3 rot, yeah. Now,
So what happens if I get 10 rot?
then you can kick ass, because what happens is if you fight anything that has rot, you are going to overpower it tremendously.
Wait.
The other thing that happens is if you're corrupted, your wild dice and rot dice flip, and wild dice, the tree, are automatic failures, and your rot dice are now automatic successes and explode.
So you want rot?
Well,
If you have rot?
if you start getting rot, I'd say if you're corrupted, you should lean into it. But
So Frost just gave me a superpower.
well, eventually. So I actually don't know.
Eventually.
So you gained 1 rot, and you're poisoned until the end of your next turn. It's not doing anything right now to you. 1 rot.
Man, I'm adding this game to my LinkedIn profile.
1 rot doesn't really do anything in the long run.
Proficient in Armello.
Dude, I tell you what.
People would be like, "Damn, if you figured that game out, that's a smart dude."
Alright, so what's your move, Nate? You gonna attack the
Wait,
bird?
so if I...
Okay, so here, let me explain
I-
this.
I
If
can,
you
I can unrot myself. I've got a card that unrots myself.
if
Should
you
I do that?
attack the Bane, because you have 1 rot. Okay, so you just did that. So you just did Cleansing Wild, which also got rid of your poison. So you spent magic to get rid of your poison and your rot, is what it looks like.
That sounds good, right?
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan, that you got rid of the poison as well. Dude, you have 10 gold? Oh yeah, I forgot you went delve in the dungeon and found a bunch of money.
Okay, so...
Yeah, that sounds so
I don't really
nice.
have anything to do. Maybe I should just attack Frost.
If you,
Nah, bro.
if you want to.
I gave you a superpower. What are you talking about?
You curse me, man.
If you think you can take him in combat, then go for it, because if he dies, if he has prestige, he loses prestige. He also if you kill somebody, they respawn at the next turn, beginning of the next turn in their back of their home base. So if you're trying to like traverse the map to get to your like to a quest, if you kill him, it sends him back to start, and he has to spend all that time going back out to try and get his quest or whatever he's trying to accomplish.
I'm not gonna lie, Nate. It does look, y'all aren't stacking up too well against each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, Nathan.
Wait, so does the Bane have rot?
The Bane has rot, yes. The Bane is rot incarnate.
So if I play a card that hurts based on its rot, that's a good thing.
Yes, because it has 5 rot. There you go, boom. So you kill the Bane, which gives you a prestige, which means that you're going to be, unless somebody else gets prestige, prestige leader. Congrats.
Dude, I got that prestige.
And that costs you 0 action points because you didn't actually move. Okay, well, so then Clayton took a shot at you, but then you got a treasure.
What did he shoot me for? What?
So Clayton's character, if he's on a mountain or plains, if you move into one of his adjacent squares, he shoots you for 1 damage automatically.
What?
Clayton can't not do that.
He can't not do that, which means if a palace guard moves into a square, he shoots a guard and loses prestige.
Any adjacent square?
Yeah, so if you're
on a mountain or a plain.
If he's on a mountain or a plain and you get next to him, he's gonna pop you 1.
I didn't know I had to run away from him.
Well, you just picked up.
So
you
how
just
come I
picked up.
didn't go in that dungeon?
You did. You picked up an item. Did you not see that you got a treasure card?
Oh, okay.
It says Voldar has received a treasure card in the bottom of my screen.
What's your treasure card?
He doesn't have to tell. He doesn't have to tell.
treasure card.
Now, what happens when I put it in my inventory?
What'd you say?
It says it's equipable. What happens when I put it in my inventory?
You're going to pay, if there's any money, you pay that money, but then you get whatever benefits it is. Like, if it gives you, +2 combat dice, or like +1 gold gain, or +2 prestige, or whatever it is. Yeah, we're playing with unlimited time limit because...
forever?
This is our first time playing.
Do I get to keep it forever?
Or until somebody forces you to unequip that card. There are cards that steal card equipment from other players.
There's no reason for me to keep this in my hand rather than equip it.
Unless it's absolute garbage, which it probably isn't, and then you can keep it to burn later on a peril or a combat or something like that. But otherwise, yeah. Okay, so you equipped a royal shield. In battle, suns and moons that miss count as defenses instead. So if you attack somebody and you roll a sun or a moon that would normally not be an attack, instead it gives you a defense. So
it's a good time to attack Frost, is what you're saying.
if you want to, yeah.
I'm kidding.
Now that being said, he has you have 3 combat and he has 5. Also,
wait, can I? I've got 2 moves. Can I go to that dungeon next to Frost, and will I get shot 2 times?
He will shoot you twice. Now, if you want to move, I guess your orientation. If you want to move south, kind of southwest, kind of next to where I am, you could move to that dungeon.
Right, we'll go your way, so Frost's not gonna shoot me.
Yeah, everybody's learning, so. And so you gained 4 magic to your pool.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what does that mean?
That means that you just got 4 magic. You know how magic cards don't cost money to spend, they cost magic to spend? You just got 4 magic.
Okay.
That's all it is. You just got 4 magic. So now you can actually cast cards. Right. So now, looking in the future, now you have magic. You may want to, draw a couple of magic cards your next turn, because those cards are pretty interesting.
What is peril?
Peril is that thing that teleported you away. You place it either on a person, or really a peril, you place it on a tile. You place it on an area. Somebody walks in to that area and hits the trap.
Master.
What kind of money do I have? I'll take another one of these. Ooh, what is this? Yes, please. I'll put that on. Oh my gosh, this dude. What do I have right now? And what does he have? When attacking. Okay. Yeah. Avast!
What the? You attacked me?
I did. Oh,
I mean, I'm not joking, Frost. To your point, I would definitely consider understanding this game a pro in terms of considering looking at you as a candidate.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you.
It's like there are a lot of people that could not get through this game. That at least something.
get out of
I
here.
don't really love his analytical skills, but man, he figured out Armello.
This is my new interview. I'll play it Armello against the candidate and see if they can.
Oh my gosh, 40%. 40. I'm gonna try. 40%.
No joke, it probably would be a pretty good interview. Figure out like, do they get super frustrated?
Yes!
How they handle like learning on the go? Like,
Yeah.
All right. So I successfully got +1 combat, +1 prestige, and I picked up a follower that gives me +2 dice in perils. Which I'm gonna go ahead and equip. Yeah, boy. I have, and I took a settlement. Nice. Okay, that's my turn, and I took all 3 of my actions. And now I get to select a new quest. Okay.
It looks like I can play my card at any time.
Yes, if a card has a lightning bolt in the bottom right corner of it, you can play it at any time. Ooh, interesting.
But I've got one that doesn't have a lightning bolt that's acting like I could play it if I wanted to. Would it not actually play right now?
That's a long way away. Say that again?
I've got one that doesn't have a lightning bolt, but when I
Well,
click
if
it's acting like it would let me play it.
If it's an equipment, then you can just put it on. Now, be careful, Andrew. If you move too close to... Remember, Clayton is going to shoot you if you move next to him. So, if you can take the hit if you want to, but just remember that. I don't want to meet the true Armello pro. Yeah, so this is a game that I found out about. Oh gosh, maybe like in 2017. There was a guy that I met at a friend of mine that I met at RTX, that he has a bunch of friends that he had known and played with, and they played this game a lot, so I joined them on it. Okay, dawn of day 2. All right, guys, that was day 1 of 7. Okay, so since I'm the prestige leader, I have 2 options, and I'm gonna talk this through right now. When you're the prestige leader,
How much prestige do you have?
I have 3. At the dawn of a day, the prestige leader gets an option of 2 declarations from the king. They're usually both bad, but you get to pick which one to... So here are my choices. The king siphons 2 magic from all heroes, and if you don't have magic, he takes 1 prestige from you. Or the king plays cursed lands across all normal perils in the kingdom, increasing their difficulty. So if there's a peril, and you play a peril on a peril, then all it does is make that peril harder. It doesn't make like 2 perils. Whatever peril was previously there, it makes it more difficult. Cursed lands across all normal perils in the kingdom. So my choice is either everybody loses 2 magic, and if you don't have magic, you lose a prestige, or I can make all of the perils in the kingdom harder.
Dang.
I don't have any magic cards, and I have 2.
yeah, both of those suck.
Oh, I don't have 2 magic. My bad. I have 2 spirit. I have 0 magic right now. Ooh, I was about to click.
Where's
that.
the thing that helps us?
The king's a bad guy. He's not going to help you. So watch all of these things that are So you see how the perils were just skulls and now they're skull and crossbones? If it's a skull on a black flag, it's a peril. If it's a skull and crossbones, it's an advanced peril. Yeah, the game is fun, but it is it's like you have to go through. You have to spend like 45 minutes.
So you're the king now?
If I was, then the game would be over. I just have the king's ear because I have so much prestige. That's all it is.
He's very prestigious.
I am. Yeah,
He's
it's
got
like
that
you basically
swag.
have to. I recommended they, before we did this, that they play through the tutorial, which takes about 45 minutes to play through all 4 sections. But they were just like, we can learn a card game, no problem.
Wait, so which one did you end up choosing?
I chose the one that enhanced all the perils. So if you look around the map right now,
Oh,
yeah, there are three black flags that have the skull and crossbones on
Ross
them.
is next to 2 of them.
Yeah, so they have. So you see how he has.
I wanted to equip some stuff.
Well, you should have done that before you walked into the big old bad thing. Okay, he's just gonna roll. He can't complete it
going
anyway.
for
He
it.
only has 3 dice. He can't do it anyway. So he's gonna get +1 rot.
I keep getting into perils I can't do.
No,
Oh
you
no!
need more dice, man.
They're just gonna summon a thing. And he's gonna have to fight this Bane. That sucks.
Wait, what did I get for defeating the Bane last time?
You didn't. Oh, for killing a Bane, you got 1 prestige. So
That's not enough.
everybody, don't click this yet. Everybody, if you're able to view the combat, go ahead and take a look.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Okay, so at the beginning of the combat, if you look in the bottom left-hand corner, the Bane has 5 fight. So it started with 5 dice, but because Clayton has 2 rot, it gained.
Dude, I'm so
2
mad
rot.
I didn't equip items before I started this.
So now you're gonna start with 2 shield. It's got 7 dice to roll. You've got 6. But if you want to burn
Matt,
any
what
cards,
are my odds here? Let's be honest.
I mean, so if you hover over, so you get +1 die during the day, so that's good. You also, in battles
Where are
and
you
perils,
seeing that?
underneath your name at the top, you have your signet ring and your symbol.
Oh, yeah.
So in battles and perils, you get +2 shields on planes. So since you're fighting a plane, you have your +2 shield dice that are already there. That's good. And then since we're fighting during the day, and your clan affiliate, I fucking can't words, affinity is day, you get an extra die. So you have your 5.
So does that mean he gets 7, or is that included in the 6?
So he gets 2 shield automatically, and then he's going to get his 5 die from his fight, plus 1 additional die to roll because he's fighting during the day. So he gets
Okay,
2
so
shield
he's still got
automatically.
6.
He's got 6 dice in his pool. He can burn cards from his hand right now to take a die from a pool and force it to be a sword or a shield or a wild or something like that. And then that's if he doesn't feel like using those cards. If he doesn't feel like I'm going to equip this or use it. So he's just going to flat out roll.
Can you do them one at a time?
Oh, so he's got some good rolls. So he's done. You've got some good rolls going on. So you're going to take 0
We'll just
damage.
have him with the rolls.
And you dealt 2 damage to this dude. So he attacked you, and you were like, get out of my face. So, now, let me explain something to you. You have 2 action points left. If you think you can beat this dude, you still get a prestige for killing him. You can use one of your action points right now to attack him. Now, that being said, you will not be fighting on a plains, you'll be fighting in a dungeon, so you won't get
Play
to...
a party card.
Okay. You got... Okay, so now you have +1 sword in battle. That's good.
Yeah.
What was your question? A party card?
How do I play a party card? Like when I go to equip, it says inventory and party.
Oh, party cards are blue. They're usually, you get them from completing certain quests and things like that. Like, I completed a quest and got a party member as part of a bonus thing for that quest. So he's going to attack. So, notice that you're fighting in a dungeon right now. You're not going to get those 2 shields for defense.
Dang, why?
So... But you are fighting during the day, so you get 1 extra die, and because you have that sword equipped, you automatically start with a sword. So you automatically are hitting for 1. So if this Bane has 2 health left, so if you can deal 2
Can I
damage...
one die at a time?
No. Well, okay, so you can't roll one die at a time. You burn your cards first, and then once you're done burning, you roll the rest of them.
I'm not. Okay.
That's what it is you burn cards to set specific outcomes, and then you roll the rest. You can't roll and then burn and roll and then burn. You have your chance to burn at the beginning, and then afterwards you roll. So you burned a card which did nothing.
If it's gonna do something.
Well, it depends on what symbol is in the upper right-hand corner of the card.
Yeah.
So if it was like a moon or a rot, it did nothing for you.
Okay.
If it's a sword, it's going to automatically be a sword. If it's a shield, it's going to be a shield. If it's a sun, because you're fighting in the day and you have an affinity to the day, it's going to count as a
All right, I'll try
sword.
this one. I don't know if this is dumb.
Yes.
All right, it gave me another sword.
And then if you have something that has a tree, you roll a wild, basically.
What's the spiral little looking thing? No. Okay, I see.
The spiral is rot. Yeah, I have it set up so that
All right,
there's no
ready.
timers. I have it set up so there's 0 timers.
Got
Defense.
Looking good.
Nothing.
Okay, so you're going to take 1 damage, but you killed him.
killing blow.
Which
See ya,
means-
baby.
Which means you're going to get a prestige for killing a Bane.
Lego.
And now you move onto that thing and you do the action there as well.
How prestigious is he now?
It's gonna summon another!
What?
You are the Bane champ, man.
Why did it summon another?
I mean, it's just a chance for that to happen. So you're fighting again, but you're fighting on planes, so you're gonna
the
get two. You're gonna get
Bane.
2 shield.
Alright. I mean, I'm not in the dungeon anymore, am I?
Right, you're on the
Yeah.
planes, so you're gonna get 2
Yeah,
shield.
D.
You have a sword, so you're gonna get 1 automatic
This
hit,
Bane is dead.
and then it's daytime, so you get an extra die. So, but it still gets the 2 extra dice from you having 2 rot.
Come on.
Ooh, that's bad.
Okay.
Oh, well, you're gonna kill it. You're definitely gonna blow it up. Wow. So you
Block, hit.
Dude.
So you survived.
Dude, Ross is winning.
So you have 2 health left, and you
I
got
only got 2 health. How do I get more health?
you have to either go to a stone circle before you get too much rot, and that gives you 1 health, or you get an item that can heal you. There are items in the gold pile, like the you know how there's 3 piles. There's gold, there's red, and there's green. Oh, he's doing it again. Money. Okay, cool. You got 2.
Money.
You got 2 gold. Good job. All right. So if you have anything, like I have something, I'm going to tell you this right now. I have something in my inventory that I pay 2 gold, and I can play to a creature, even you, and it gives 4 health. So like, if you want to have like an alliance or something, you know.
I'm looking for some health, so let's make a deal here. Let's do business.
We can talk about it when the time comes. Right now, you're not in my way, so I don't have to, I don't have anything to say to you.
What is gain scout? All right, let me read about this.
Scout allows you to see people's. I think you can see people that are stealthed if they're in the woods, and it also allows you to see if you're within range. You can see where their quest is.
All right, how do I intern? All right, intern.
And now we go to Voladar. He's way down here, way down yonder. I'm trying to remember. How do I pull this up? Let's just straight up tab. Hey, how about that? So right now, Clayton has 2 prestige. Nathan has 1. I have 4. Andrew has 0. Now that being said, I could wind up, and this has happened before, I could wind up with like 11 prestige and be absolutely rinsing stuff, and then somebody can just go and like kill the king and win the game. Like, so. Now I will say this. As you're going around and doing your quest, eventually, I think it's after 3 quests, your next quest will be to enter the palace walls. Normally, entering the palace walls is, I think it takes all of your remaining action points, and you have to pass a peril, and the peril is, you see how there are, if you're looking at the castle in the middle, there are 4 hexes, each pertaining to, different flags. There are 2 that deal with wits, and there are 2 that deal with spirit.
Whose turn is it?
It's Nathan's. And then once you get inside the palace walls, then you can fight the king.
How is it my turn? I don't feel like Drew took a turn.
It's not Drew's turn. It goes.
Did he get a chance to play?
He goes last.
Yeah, I got a chance to play.
Oh yeah, that is right. Thank you so much. Guy in the chat said if
How do I discard cards?
you burn them. You go into a pair. You can't just discard cards. You have to go into, as far as I remember, you have to go into either a combat or a peril and then burn cards. There.
Alright, so this one is mercenaries play to a tile. How do I play it to a tile?
You click and drag it to a tile.
No, I see why. I was like trying to play it. I forget I don't have any gold.
Oh,
How do you
yeah, you have to pay the mercenaries something.
How do you get gold?
You get gold by going into dungeons, or if you own protect towns at the beginning of every day, you get gold. That's another thing. So like I have
What is Explode Pool?
Yeah, I know you took my town. I get it.
Explode Pool is the reroll from getting wilds. And your spirit, that little flame in the bottom left-hand corner, that is your explode pool. Like I have a spirit of 2, which means I can only reroll twice off of wilds. You have a spirit of 6, which means your explode pool is really big. If you can roll up to and reroll up to 6 times off of wilds.
My spirit is off the chain.
It is.
Can I go fight the king right now?
Yeah, you can, but
Is that a bad idea?
you're not equipped for it. You're gonna get
What
rinsed.
about the King's Guard?
The
Can I go
King's.
beat the King's
If you
Guard?
fight a King's Guard, you're gonna lose a prestige. I think you lose a prestige if you kill them. You can fight them. I think if you fight them, you get a bounty, and if you kill them, you lose prestige. And if you have a bounty on you, the King's Guard are going to hunt you down, and players will also start hunting you down because you have a bounty. If you kill a player that has a bounty on them, you get prestige and gold. So if you damage a King's Guard, you know, I'm certainly going to hunt you down.
What is a stone circle again?
Stone circle is, okay, if you look, I'm trying to orient myself. If you look to your southeast.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, if you walk into that, if you hover over it, it'll show you on the right-hand side. You'll regain 1 health. You also get stone wards, which I think is that, like, Banes won't attack you because it's a holy circle. But then if you're corrupted, if you have 3 or more rot, if you walk in, you take a butt ton of damage.
Alright, I don't got rot.
So you could totally stroll in there and get a health back.
And then, so I could go there. There's a dungeon to my top right. That gets me something, right?
Yeah, you could do that. There's also a city to your south as well as your north. The one that was to your northwest is one that I
should
own.
have equipped. I forgot to equip.
It's okay. You're gonna. Cool. You got a follower, so you can equip that follower now.
What's a follower?
A follower. So you know how you can have a party of NPCs that give you passive boosts. So you can equip it usually for free. Most followers cost 0 gold, but it's a blue card. You click and drag it over to the right-hand side like you would in equipment, but
It wants me to put it in the party.
There's a separate column. Yeah, there's a separate column. You got an alchemist. +1 to a random stat. Changes each turn. So right now you have +1 wits. Cool.
Nice. Extra card. Wait, what happens if I have an extra card and then it goes away?
No, it's just your max. It's your max draw size. So you can have a wits of like that's one. There's actually a card out there that gives you temporary wits, and then you draw a bunch of cards, and you don't have to discard down to your lowered wits. If you become an idiot, you can keep your extra cards. So if
I ended up too close to Frost again. He's gonna shoot me if I go over there.
Yeah,
You're toast.
Dang, I forgot about that.
No. He only does that. You see how he's just standing there? If he is crouched and kind of circling around with his cannon active, he's not in a plane. Yeah, it's only when he's
not in the zone.
It's only when he's in a plane.
And it's only if I move to him. If he moves next to me, he doesn't shoot me.
Right. If you move into an adjacent square he'll shoot you, but that's only if he is currently in a plains or a mountain. Right now he's in a dungeon tile, so that passive ability is not active.
So you're telling me don't go fight that King's Guard right next to me?
I am telling you that exactly.
It's tempting. Because I got nothing else to do. Okay, I'll just...
well, that's gonna... You know, that's just gonna put a bounty on your head and give you... give me a reason to come and kill you and get prestige and take prestige away from you, because if you die, you lose prestige. You lose 1 prestige. So if you get a bounty on your head...
I'm gonna equip...
You're worth money and prestige. So if I kill you, I get prestige and money, and you lose prestige and get sent back home. So you don't want to fight the King's Guard if you can.
If I equip something, can I unequip it later?
Yes. You can take it out. You can take it out and put it back in your hand, but then it costs. I think you can do that, but then it costs money to re-equip it. No, I think you can.
Well, I guess the thing I'm saying is,
I think you can take something out of your hand.
I've got 3 equipable inventory spots. If I put a 3rd one in,
it'll get rid. Oh, does it get rid of it?
Can I add a 4th one later?
So
am I stuck with those 3?
No, I don't think there's any. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's a way to equip 4 items like in the entire game. I don't think there's like.
But can I get rid of the one I don't want? And
it gets okay. Yeah, it gets rid of it. So if you equip an item, it equips it over that other item. So whatever item was in that slot goes away forever, and the new item takes its place.
Okay.
There is, I think Barnaby has his passive is when he equips something over a 3rd slot, he regains that equipment in his inventory that he can then spend to like burn down Tyner. Yeah, Barnaby. Yeah. So I'm playing Barnaby right now.
There's no real downside to equipping this extra thing here.
Yeah.
Okay. And then let's see. What does this one do? Okay.
So you've equipped a trusty shield and a heavy flail. Yeah, when attacking, +2 swords and +1 explode pool, and then shield is just a straight up +1 shield. But it's not. That doesn't take a die away from you. That's just a passive like automatic shield. And that's the same thing with the heavy flail. When you're attacking, if somebody attacks you, you don't get the bonus for the flail. But if you... So that kind of like helps you be aggressive. If you attack somebody, you automatically get +2 swords and +1 exploding pool.
Alright.
Since,
did you say... What was the last thing you just said?
I was saying that the flail only gives you the bonuses if you are the aggressor. If you attack. If someone attacks you, you don't get those bonuses. Unbelievable.
In battle, when attacking. Oh, okay, only when I attack. Good to know.
These things cost prestige? Oh. That's a fucking card right there. Ooh, interesting. It costs a prestige, though. Holy shit. I'm not about that. That is fucking rough. Okay. Alright, let me think of something. On Wednesday nights, it's family game night. It's me and the fam, and we just play a myriad of different games. I usually play other games. I should have on my About page my schedule listed, what I'm currently doing and everything like that. We started this before the pandemic. I want to say it was like the beginning of 2019. We started doing game night. Maybe it was the beginning of 2020, but we've been doing this for a long time. Yeah, this is our first time doing Armello, so I would like to do more Armello. I think they're enjoying it so far. Okay, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna go here. Doop. And then I'm gonna hope. No whammies.
Yay!
2 gold. And then I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna be like, hey buddy, how are you? Would you mind, do you want to be friends, Clayton?
Yeah, let's be friends.
Cool. We're friends.
Dude, Drew, we gotta make an alliance.
Yay!
So I'm gonna let you know right now.
Drew, are you here?
I'm headed that way, kind of over the mountain. So if you could vacate
That's what I said earlier.
where you are right now,
We on a team.
I kind of need to be on the other side of this mountain.
Is there an official way to do that? Like, what y'all
No.
just...
We just don't attack each other.
You just don't attack each other.
And we always attack them.
All right, thanks,
Well,
man,
why
for
did
coming
they
and hanging
just
out. Thanks for
turn,
the
like,
follow,
green?
and yeah, I'll see you around. And thanks for
I think 'cause
helping
Matt
out
gave him a card or
chat as well.
Okay, so...
So what? Somebody. So hold on, wait. You just summoned a Bane, and you gained a Rot. So now you are
Corrupt.
corrupt. Yeah, which means you cannot go inside of stone circles without taking damage. But and you also take a damage at every dawn. But
How do I become uncorrupt?
well, there are certain cards that get rid of that. So the cost of summoning that Bane was a rot. Okay, so Andrew just stole my settlement. I now have 0 settlements? No, I have 1 settlement. So I had that settlement. Andrew has now taken that, so at the beginning of each turn, he's gonna, or at the beginning of each day, he's gonna get a gold.
Need gold, man.
You need. It sounds like you need to go into some dungeons.
If I play a card to an empty spot, does it just do nothing?
It depends on what the card is. If it's a peril, then it sets
Alright,
a
well,
trap.
if it says something like -1 action point, and I play it to an empty forest, it's just gonna do nothing.
You can't do that. You cannot do that. That is.
I can. I could totally put this card in an empty forest.
What? Bane spawned in a dungeon. Clayton, no.
Why is it attacking me again?
So here's what also sucks about this is that because you got an extra rot, you're giving it more dice.
Yeah, it's got like 80 million.
Yeah, it's got 9 dice. You have 5.
That Bane's got some dice.
I mean, there's been games before where I've seen somebody roll like 20 dice.
I'm toast, man.
No, man, you got 3 block, and I just healed you. You're fine.
Alright, back them off.
Yeah. So, he pushed you away. I'm currently hidden in the forest, so that's why it wasn't going for me. Also, it just, like, popped out of that dungeon.
Oh man.
So, I will say this. Banes always have 4 health, 5 attack, and 5 rot, unless there's, like... There is a thing that the king can do stuff where, like, Banes get superpowered, where they get, like, extra attack and things like that, so... But, that being
How do I
said...
change my inventory? I think Nathan was asking that earlier.
To change your equipment, you mean?
Yeah.
Anything
No,
that...
it's called inventory.
Well, whatever. Here, let me look at this. So you currently are...
Matt
you
was
ca-
saying you
okay.
could drag a card on top of
Yeah,
an old.
you just
I
click and
wanna try
drag a
that.
card over an old card, and that card will disappear. So if you don't want, like, if you have something better than your sword or something, or if you have, like, a second sword and you don't want your spyglass, you just click, drag it over the card you want to disappear, it'll take that card's spot. So you equipped an iron pike. Okay, so when attacking, your first rolled sword gains pierce, which means that it ignores defense. And then when you're defending, you can your defenses reflecting defenses block an attack and deal damage. So iron pike is really nice. So if you attack this Bane right now, basically it's like one of his defenses doesn't count. Is kind of what it means. Now, you should be fighting... is he in a... Yeah, he should be fighting on a plane. So you should get those 2 defense dice. Yep. Now, because we're not fighting during the day, you don't get that extra die to roll, so... Oh, maybe you're not corrupt yet. It should say you're corrupted. I don't know. Oh, that's a lot. Oh,
That's a lot of attack.
you killed him.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh!
So here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna gain.
Kill him and he killed me.
You're gonna gain a prestige. You're gonna lose a prestige. You're gonna go back to where you started from, and because you got killed by a Bane, you're gonna gain a rot.
Oh, I'm so corrupt.
Does it say you're corrupt now?
He was corrupt.
Where?
You played Bubble Tea, +1 prestige. Nice. So you just gained a prestige. Just flat
What
out.
is evade?
Evade? If somebody attacks you while you are currently evading, swords also get rolled as shields, and then no matter what, you are going to run away, like, off of that tile, even if you win the fight. So evading is like, I'm not trying to deal damage, I'm just trying to, like, go about my business. So swords get rolled as shields, and then even if you win the fight or take 0 damage, you're going to get pushed off of that point. So I want to see... So you have 4 rot. Heroes with rot first become infected. Continued dedication will become corrupted. When do you become corrupted? You're infected. It just says you're infected. Does anybody else here have rot right now? No. I'm going to look this up real quick. Oh, rot if you have 5 or more. Hold on, wait. When your hero has a rot stat of... Oh, they've changed it. I thought it was more. I thought it was less than that. If you have a rot stat of 1 through 4, you're just infected. You take 1 damage every dawn. You have a chance of triggering a White Shadow's Gift, a random quest event that rarely happens, but if you enter a forest with at least 1 point of rot, you can still go into stone circles without dying. And then if you're corrupted, you have to have 5 or more rot. So Clayton, you can still go into a stone circle and get healed until you get 5 rot. And then if you walk into a stone circle, you take 5 damage. So you actually may... How much rot do you have right now?
How do I end my turn?
It's your turn already ended. It's
Okay.
Nathan's turn right now. So you have 4 rot. Yeah, so if you get 1 more rot, you will become corrupted. The king right now only has 3 rot. He gets a rot every single day. So actually, if you can keep getting rot, you may be able to get a rot victory by attacking the king and just having more rot than him, and then you get all of that as extra damage. If you can get 5 rot when you fight Banes, you'll have equal rot and they won't get dice. If you can get 6 rot and you fight a Bane, you'll get 5 extra dice in combat. Actually, I think if you have more rot, you may auto-kill Banes? I don't remember. It's been such a long time since I played stuff. What did you do? Nathan did something. You played some card. It popped
Day
up.
are we on?
This is the second night of 7.
Oh.
Oh
my god.
We may not finish this game tonight.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna have to hop pretty soon. It's already it's later for y'all, but
Yeah. Well, how about this? Yeah.
I got a super early morning.
Let's finish this night. So Nathan will take a turn. I'll take a turn, and Andrew will take a turn, and then we'll call it. I don't think I can save it. And we can't come back to it later. I'm pretty sure you can't. Let me check. Actually, let me check that. Can private multiplayer games be saved and returned to later? No. You can turn off timers and not close the game. You just leave it up. No, you can't. So this game, we'll call it a trial run. Usually when I play with people that
What did I
like,
just get?
you
I got
receive
4 gold.
4 gold. Nice.
Oh, okay. Lame.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to like this game now that I'm starting to get the hang of it.
Yeah, I
I think we needed a dry run like this, very necessary, but
I think y'all needed to play the.
a timer would keep it moving.
Well, everybody's learning.
Timer a little bit longer than the 90s.
Dude, a timer would make it to where I'm just clicking random buttons. That's what a timer would do.
No, but like
Oh,
eventually
teleporting.
once we...
Oh, you didn't teleport far.
Yeah, maybe like one more game.
I went in a hidden portal. Okay, well that was lame.
So you teleported another 2 spaces, so that's where you are.
I'm kind of excited to
If
go
I
back
do
and play the
this.
tutorial now. I think even with the context I have after tonight, playing the tutorial will be even better.
Wait, you teleported yourself to another dungeon which costs 4 magic, and then you got 4 magic from that dungeon?
Nice.
What a 5-head maneuver. Big brain. Now, is that part of the world that you actually want to be in where your quest is? That's the question.
I don't know.
Ooh, Clayton has 3 prestige.
I wish I could move a square though.
You get some hot rot wine, you can do that. Hot rot wine gives you 1 rot, but it gives you 1 extra movement. Alright. Give me an item.
Join the dark side with me.
Are you fucking... Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What are I've drawn... I want equipment. I'm drawing consumables.
I can't see you.
I'm in a forest. You can't... I'm stealthed.
Anyone in a forest you can't see.
This fucking guy right here. Are you serious? This is making me so mad. This is making me so mad. Okay. I'm gonna go up here. Is there anything else that I can do? No. No. Ugh. I'm so upset. Okay, fine. I'm gonna fight this fucking Bane. I'm so mad about this board set layout right now. God, I want to get rid of some of these fucking cards, but I also don't want to lose this fight. Ugh. Frustrating. No, don't do that. Well, okay. Give me 1 more. Give me another damage. Let's go, baby! Hell yeah. So I'm gonna get a prestige for killing a Bane. Meh. I also, because of the scepter that I have, I'm gonna get a prestige for taking this town. I'm going to heal myself. Let's see. I'll put this right here. Boop. I played a little tricky trap. Alright. Man, that was a great turn for me. I thought it was going to be garbage. But, it turned out really well. Okay. I got 3 prestige that round.
Bang. How many prestige do you have? 7?
I've 6 right now. Which, once again, could mean nothing, because, like, in the grand scheme of things, you have 4 rot. If you keep getting rot at that rate, you could easily get a rot victory if we continue this game.
How do you get a rot victory?
You have to attack the king, and if you have more rot than the king, then all of that rot that the king would have gets, to be bonus dice for you,
How do you know how much rot the king has?
If you go to the hero shelf on the right-hand side, there's the 4 of us, Hargrave, Voldor, Barnaby, and Silas. If you click on the king, you can see his stats.
I see.
So you can know what forest someone's in if you pay attention.
Yes.
But you just have to pay attention to it.
So I can either, these are my choices. I can either the king releases all prisoners of the crown, new king's trickery perils appear across the kingdom, or no battle between heroes is allowed until next dawn. You lose 3 prestige if you defy the king and attack another hero. So I could play this peace treaty that forces, like, we can't fight each other. If you fight anybody in the next 2 turns, then you lose 3 prestige. You can still fight Banes. But
What if I only have 1?
Then you go to 0. That's it. You know, not a big deal.
Not a big penalty.
Yeah, not a big penalty. If you have,
Might as well just fight everybody.
Exactly, you could. You might as well just throw fans. All right, so that is the first 2 rounds of a game of Armello. Now that we know it, I think that y'all should go through the tutorial to kind of learn a little bit and look. It also teaches you like the basics of 4 different characters. And then we can play either over the weekend or next Wednesday, and it should go by faster, and we should be able to complete a game. Because playing with 4 people that know how the game works, if you play a full 7 days and like the king dies at the end, basically if you play a full 7 days, it usually lasts about 2 hours.
Nice.
So with 4 people who know what they're doing, that are familiar with the cards and everything like that, it normally, like, in playing with like normal timers to keep the game moving, it usually is
How many
hours.
games of this have you played?
This?
Totality?
Maybe like 20 or so. Not a lot.
Have you ever won?
Oh yeah.
He wins all the time.
And here's the other thing: is that sometimes you win by accident. Like I'm the prestige. Like I may not be the prestige leader, but like, or somebody goes and attacks the king and then kills the king, but they die as well, which means that the prestige leader wins. So even though you killed the king, you died, and so it has to go to the next available person.
That's lame. You died in vain.
Yeah, I've seen that. I don't know if I've done that. I know I've seen it happen before, like in a game where I was playing with some friends, where somebody went in and they died to the king, and so somebody else won. Like they killed the king and died to the king. There have been a lot of games that I've played where it's come down to like. I've played a lot of games where wins and losses have come down to like not just I need one more turn. It's like I need one more action point to win. Like.
Oh, that's frustrating. I
No,
don't
but
want to be there.
It's close. It's so frustrating to sit there and be like, I can't do this. Or to be, I've also seen it where somebody is really close and somebody like throws a tomahawk from the bushes, deals 2 damage to them, and they die and lose the game.
Oh,
So
my
I
God.
had a curse card that I could only play in a forest. So I had to like be paying attention to where someone was in which forest. To
You
be
can
able
do
to
that.
use that.
Yeah, you can do that.
What do you mean I can do that? Is there
Well,
another way to
well, you
use
can just-
that card?
You play it on a forest and it creates a peril.
Just a random forest and hope
Just
I
any
get
forest.
lucky?
Well, no, you play it on a forest and it creates a trap, and then you know what trap is there, but other people, they may be like, ugh, I gotta cross through
Oh,
this
so
forest.
the card stays on the forest until someone shows up there?
Yeah, if it's a peril.
Oh.
If it says
Wait.
if it says like on the left hand side, if it says like play to forest, is that what it says?
Yeah.
Is it a red
Yeah.
card?
Yeah. No, it's a green card.
Oh, it's a green card? What does it say? Read me the card.
-1 action point and -2 cards from target's hand.
In the bottom right hand corner, is it a little skull?
Yeah.
Then that is a peril. Yeah.
So
you-
I put
you-
it on that forest right there. Oh, it created a skull on it. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And now
I get
if
it.
somebody goes
I
there,
get
you know what trap that is, but everybody else, you know, if you hadn't have broadcast it, you know, we're just talking right now, but everybody else would be like, "Ah, Nathan played a fucking peril there. I wonder what it is." You know,
Okay, I get it.
like I have a peril, even though I'm a prestige leader, I have a peril that I play to either a hero and it automatically happens, or I can play to a settlement and it creates a peril where if you fail the peril, you lose 2 prestige.
But
And
if
if
I
I-
was paying attention, I knew someone was in that forest, I could get them right away with it.
True, that is true. Like I have one that says play to dungeon or swamp, -2 health. If it kills the target, they get +1 rot. Or I can play it directly, you know, to a person. Played Curse Lands, yeah. So play to peril. Ooh, so you made the peril more difficult.
Yup.
Interesting. So
So what is play to creature?
play to creature is any live thing. It doesn't have to be a hero like a player. It can be a guard. It can be a bane. It's any.
It looks like it can't be a player. I don't feel like I can play this to a player.
Is it a magic card?
It's a red card called Saboteur.
Does it have a certain range? No. There's not like a dotted line on the map showing things, right? Because sometimes there's like there's a certain range that you can play cards. Like Magic definitely has that. Oh, like this item that I have.
Maybe creature just means anything but another player.
No, creature like that. Like Clayton, when I healed you, that card says play 2 creature, but I can only play it to the person next to me. Like when I hover over that card, I have a dotted line going around the 6 tiles adjacent to me, showing that I can only play it on somebody adjacent to me.
Gotcha.
I mean, I can only find Clayton actually right now, and isn't he guarded?
I am.
I don't think I can play anything.
I'm directly
because
north
he
of.
hadn't
I'm
moved.
directly north of you, over the mountains. I'm sitting between 2 mountains in a village. Do you see me?
Hold up, I gotta find myself again. Okay, there's me.
Go
Now I go north.
between the 2 mountains. You see me standing in the village with a hammer.
No. I see mountains to my left. I see mountains to my north.
Yep.
Now
and
I
go,
see you.
yeah.
Okay, I see you.
And then
Yes, I can play this on you.
Okay. Oh,
that
well,
hurt
okay,
you?
so what this does, target's explode pool becomes 0 until the end of next turn. So until for my next turn, I cannot, wild cards are only successes, they don't also reroll. My explode pool is 0.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is a cool game. It's just
So-
I'm gonna need to go get a degree to understand it.
It's a lot of stuff, and the other thing is that all of these cards, I think each deck has like 60 or 70 unique cards in them as well. And I haven't even seen all the cards in the game, probably not at this point. But yeah, it's a fun game. But it
Alright,
definitely has
Dragon Clan represent.
a lot
I'm
of
looking
mechanics.
forward to trying to play this again this weekend or next week.
Yeah, we could try and find a
for
time this
sure.
weekend, or if not, play the tutorial and get acquainted with the basics again, and then we can play this again next Wednesday and maybe play through a full game.
For sure.
Cool.
Could be down.
I'm glad y'all are excited. So, that being said, I do have a question. For some reason, we had access to all of the heroes. I don't think I own any expansions. Are y'all excited enough about this game that we would play this, more than 1 or 2 times, in total? Maybe not, back to back, but, if I went and bought some of the expansions so that we had extra characters, would that be something y'all are into? Because if the host has expansions, then everybody else has access to those expansions.
I'd say it'd be too early for me to say go buy more characters. There's enough on here for me to learn already. I'm not ready to expand.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, are we going to lose some of the characters that we have?
Let me see something. I think there's a special thing going on right now.
Because from what I'm seeing on their fandom, those are all the characters.
Yeah, every character is available right now for some reason. Let me see. I don't know if there's some special thing going on.
I'm quitting, by the way.
That's fine. Let me see. How do I do this?